Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are learning the biochemistry of proteins. On the basis of its composition and hydrolysis, proteins are classified into three different categories as we have discussed in the last lecture. We have discussed the simple proteins that contain only amino acids, and now today we will discuss the conjugated proteins. Conjugated proteins are also a simple proteins, and in this they are combined with any non-proteinous part, which is called as prosthetic group. This prosthetic group is mainly responsible for the activity of the protein. The proteinous part is called apoprotein, and the entire molecule is called holoprotein. There are several types of conjugated proteins are there. First example is the nucleoproteins. They are made up of simple basic proteins such as protamine or histones with nucleic acids as the prosthetic group. These are the proteins of the cell nuclei, and they are the main component of the chromatin, very abundant in the tissue, having a large proportion of the nuclear material in almost in every type of organism. Then we have the another type which is the deoxyribonucleic acid. First one, the examples are deoxyribonucleoproteins, like it contains DNA as a prosthetic group present in the nuclei, mitochondria and chloroplast. Another example is the ribonucleoprotein. It occurs in the nucleoli and ribosomes. They have RNA as a prosthetic group, for example, nucleohistones and nucleoprotamine. Second class is the mucoproteins. They are also a simple proteins that combine with the mucopolysaccharides such as all-uronic acid and chondroitin sulfate. They contain large quantities of N-acetyl hexamine, more than 4%, and along with the uronic acid and sialic acid and other monopolysaccharides. They are water soluble because of the presence of the mucopolysaccharide. They can be present in the serum, egg white and human urine. These proteins are water soluble. They are not easily denatured by heat or weakly precipitated by picric acid. They are basically hexosamine, and hexose sugar will be there as the prosthetic group. They are mainly present in the umbilical cord. They are also present in different kinds of mucin and blood group substances. Several gonadotropic hormones like FSH, LH and human chorionic gonadotropin hormones are also mucoproteinous in nature. These are soluble proteins. However, some insoluble mucoproteins are also present in egg white, in a vitreous tumor of the eye and submaxillary gland. Third class is the glycoproteins. Glycoproteins are those that contain carbohydrate moiety as a prosthetic group. And in this, the difference is that in mucopolysaccharides, the proportion is more than 4%, while in glycoproteins, they carry carbohydrate less than 4%. Such as serum albumin and globulin are basically glycoproteins. Carbohydrate, the bonding is firm, and as compared to mucoprotein, they are more firmly bound to the carbohydrate. Glycoproteins, the examples include mucin, immunoglobulin, complements and many enzymes, and they carry mannose, galactose, fucose, xylose, arabinose in their oligosaccharide chain. Third one is the chromoproteins. Some chromoproteins occurred substances are present as a prosthetic group. For example, hemoproteins. All hemoproteins are chromoproteins which contain heme as a prosthetic group, a red color pigment found in these proteins. Examples are hemoglobin, contain iron as a prosthetic group. It is present in the respiratory cells, respiratory proteins. found in RBC cells. Cytochromes, they are the mitochondrial enzymes, and they are also participating in the respiratory chain. Then we have a catalase enzyme present in the blood that decomposes the hydrogen peroxide, a free radical, a toxic substance, to the water and oxygen. Several peroxidase enzymes also contain prosthetic group, and they are chromoproteins. Superoxidase is an oxidative enzyme. Another class of chromoprotein is the flavoprotein, which is a cellular redox protein which contains riboflavin as a constituent of B complex as a prosthetic group. These flavoproteins are yellow in color. Visual purple color, it is a protein of the retina in which the prosthetic group is a carotenoid pigment which is purplish in color. Fifth class is the phosphoproteins. Phosphoproteins are those proteins that contain phosphoric acid as organic phosphate, but not the phosphate-containing substance such as nucleic acid and phospholipid. For example, casein are the two important groups of phosphoproteins present in the milk, egg yolk, and about 1% phosphorus is usually present. What are the other characteristics? They are also present in the fish eggs. They are strongly soluble in water and very dilute acid in cold, but also soluble in dilute alkali. The phosphoric acid is usually esterified to the hydroxyl group of the serine and the adenine that is liberated from the organic combination by warming with sodium hydroxide and can only be detected by ammonium molybdate. Then we have lipoproteins. Lipoproteins are those proteins that are the combination of lipids with the proteins. Lipids is the proteostatic group. Then we have metalloproteins. As the name indicates, they contain metal as their proteostatic group. Several enzymes contain metal like iron, cobalt, manganese, zinc, magnesium. Example are the ferritin that contains iron, carbonic anhydrase that contains zinc, then ceroplasmin that contains copper. Then we have conjugated proteins. This is the summary of conjugated proteins. If we summarize, we have glycoproteins, gamma-globulin, we have hemoproteins, proteins with iron in their structure like myoglobin, hemoglobin, cytochrome. We have lipoproteins like patient with lipid molecule including cholesterol. Then metalloproteins like enzymes. We have nucleoproteins having a nucleic acid in the ribosome, RNA, viruses, DNA. Then we have phosphoproteins, have a phosphorus. These are some generalized characteristics and examples. This is all about the conjugated proteins. Thank you.